The electric vehicle policy in Vietnam has stirred extensive public debate, raising questions about why the one-party communist regime would enact decisions considered inhumane and abusive toward its people. Reality suggests that such a regime may lack the competence and ethics to craft internationally credible policies. Behind it, global forces, particularly the World Economic Forum, WEF, cannot be ruled out as influencers. This organization is often accused of lavish spending to corrupt global leaders and influence social control initiatives, with its activities exposed in various regions around the world. We must reflect on the downfall of the Republic of South Vietnam, a regime that resisted external manipulation, yet was ultimately betrayed by international power plays. The name Kissinger often surfaces in this context. Citizens are invited to scrutinize why Vietnam continues to fall under foreign influence. Since 1989, Vietnam has been officially engaged with the WEF, an entity often criticized for financially influencing world leaders. Communist officials in Vietnam have allegedly sacrificed national interests for personal gains and favors from foreign powers, marking the beginning of what some regard as treason against the homeland. 2010, Vietnam hosted the East Asia Summit of the WEF in Saigon, focusing on exploiting regional resources and promoting labor export as an economic power strategy. 2016, the WEF's Mekong Summit held in Hanoi discussed resource exploitation and seemed to foster collusion among countries along the Mekong River. 2018, Vietnam again served as host for the ASEAN WEF Summit in Hanoi, themed Entrepreneurial Spirit and the Fourth Industrial Revolution, a symbolic abuse of technology for controlling the people of Vietnam. 2021, Vietnam and the WEF held a communist strategic dialogue framed around green development and digital technologies aimed at social governance. At Davos 2024, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh presented a strategy involving the misuse of semiconductor technology and carbon credit markets as a new economic model to restrict individual freedoms. The exploitation of rare earth resources is widely viewed as a concealed sell-off of national assets, disguised as an effort to support high-tech industry development. In 2025, the Vietnamese Communist Party recommitted to achieving net zero emissions by 2050, a declaration viewed as utopian and detached from reality, possibly aimed at entrenching its grip on power under the guise of international goals. To serve global agendas, Vietnam opened the Fourth Industrial Revolution Center at Saigon High-Tech Park in coordination with WEF. Its core focus includes green growth, smart cities, and AI development, fields said to be used to regulate nearly every aspect of daily life, from movement and trade to consumption, placing personal freedoms at risk. On the financial front, bribery, referred to as mouth-wiping diplomacy, has allegedly become a tool to maintain and strengthen power. In July 2025, Vietnam sought Swiss experts through the WEF to help establish international financial centers in Saigon and Da Nang, two key urban centers for the Vietnamese Communist Party. Senior WEF expert Guillaume Hingle reportedly remarked, "Vietnam has a young, easily influenced labor force ripe for economic exploitation. This situation portrays a future for Vietnam more precarious than ever. Since the communist takeover of the South, some lucky citizens escaped overseas, but most now brace themselves to live in what feels like a massive stagnant pond, a place where freedom is stifled in all aspects of everyday life." This mirrors the WEF's utopian policies, from carbon credit trading and green growth to smart cities and AI development. Today, the threat to the Vietnamese people no longer stems solely from the Communist Party in Vietnam, which is portrayed as trading moral integrity for personal privileges regardless of national interest. Vietnam, like much of the world, appears to have fallen under the influence of hidden powers, an unraveling that began with the secret meeting between Kissinger and China in 1971. Fortunately, many in the world have recognized these authoritarian global ambitions early on. Sadly, the Vietnamese Communist Party appears to be picking up remnants of these global policies and imposing them domestically. Who were once loud in opposing American imperialism to save the nation, they now allegedly act as lackeys to international interests. Most painfully, Vietnamese Baudouis who sacrificed for the party now find themselves exploited as pawns in a web of international political schemes brimming with deception and ambition.